All right. Team on the Run, welcome to our Zoom call. I'm super excited for those of you who are able to tune in tonight and listen to Bridget Hammond talk about more takeaways from the New Leader Conference. She and I went last month, and there's like 100 things that we want to share, probably more than that. So we're going to break it into a few different calls. And I took the first one talking about what Michelle Myers had to share with us and posted the recording. And now I'm going to turn it over to Bridget, who is going to share with us some of her greatest takeaways from the New Leader Conference last month.
Awesome. So my talk is going to be Bonnie Engel. And if you're not familiar with her, I actually wasn't, because she kind of flew into the top 10 right at the end. So if you don't follow Bonnie Engel, E-N-G-L-E, she's a pretty neat lady to watch. I was kind of found her pretty spunky. So I'm just going to go over what she gave us as some awesome insight on how she went from, so she attended the same conference we were at 1 year prior. So she was a 2-star premier coach, all right? In 1 year, she went to 15-star elite top 10, which I don't know if anyone's ever done that before, but pretty amazeballs, you guys. So I want to just tell you before we start that anyone can do this. You all can be at that conference next year. It's for 2-star. Last year at this time, I was a coach. I think I hit diamond in February. So you have a whole year pretty much. So don't ever sell yourself short. Don't ever say, I can't, I won't, I'm not so-and-so. You can all do it. All right, so I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to go into her little presentation here, but why can't I see it? Show all windows. Watch now when I'm in this mode. I can't find it. Have you done it this way, Jess?
Have I done what, sweetie? Screen shared?
Yeah, it says select a window or an app that you want to share. I'm like, I want to be in
my desktop is what I usually have selected.
On your desktop? Okay.
Mm-hmm. No pressure. We can hang.
There we go. I wasn't sure what I was sharing. This is it. All right. Do you see the words Bonnie Engel? All right. Perfect. Superstar diamond coach, top 10 elite. So this is her. Blondie, spunky. She walked in and just kind of talked about what a difference a year can make, right? That's where she was. She was the 2-star premier. She had her, hopes set on something really big, and I'm going to go through what she did in that year to make it happen. All right? Firstly, she talked about how, we hear you guys a lot about PV, ATV, elite, premier, all these things. We might not know what they are, and that's totally okay. So don't let all the jargon confuse you. That's going to take time to figure out. If you break it down, it can be really simple, okay? This is what you want to focus on. It's all about Success Club. So we know what Success Club is. If you're a brand new coach, Success Club is trying to make 5 points a month. Okay, so that's 3 challenge packs. That gets you to 6 points. 5 is kind of the benchmark. We talk about success, hitting Success Club. So that's kind of the hub of what we do, right? So her little circle, if you look at it on the left, it's Success Club right in the middle. Number 1, you're going to hit it. Then you're going to recruit coaches. And from you hitting Success Club, you will get coaches because you got some really good challengers in there. You got folks getting some good results. You're talking to people, you're complimenting them in your group. Hey, you're doing awesome. I love your posting. Gosh, you would make a great coach, okay? So then it hops over. You're recruiting coaches if you're running challenge groups. Then you're going to help them hit Success Club. So keep in mind, this is all about Success Club. It's the main thing. All right, then it comes back to you and you're going to do it again. So it's a cycle. You hit it, you get coaches, because out of you hitting Success Club, you're running challenge groups. Out of you running challenge groups, you're going to get coaches if you're asking and inviting, right? Once you get those recruits on, you're going to help them hit Success Club and then repeat. Okay, so it's really simple. She just breaks it down. Don't get hung up on all the fancy things, you know, PV, ATV, that's all great, but just focus on Success Club. Keep it simple. Keep it simple and consistent. She did talk about making 70% of this business your business, 30% team. Even if she's a 15-star diamond, she's got a giant team. But guess what? You hitting Success Club is going to help your team. They're going to watch what you're doing. You're going to teach them what you're doing, and it's a cycle. So never stop focusing on Success Club, okay? Even, you know, try not to spend all of your time on your team. You always want to focus on your business as well. 70% she does. She also talked about don't fall into managing mode as a leader, okay? Don't fall into managing mode. You want to be doing, you don't want to be just managing, and you want to work with people who are worthy of your time too. If you've spent a lot of time working with them and they just aren't willing to do the work, then you might need to pull back your energy, okay? So the focus on who consistently hit Success Club, and that's just going to keep everything growing, okay? Because that's what you're focusing on every single day. So the mindset there is don't overthink, just do. All right, and that's a big one for me. I'm not a big overthinker. It's just not how I work. I'm focusing on Success Club is the first thing I hit for the month. That's the first thing I focus on. It doesn't always hit right away. And I just keep going. And I don't stop trying. If it's midnight on the night before the month is going to turn, I'm still inviting you guys. If I get to 5, I don't stop. I just keep inviting. If something doesn't work, and this is talking about me, not Bonnie, but if something doesn't work for me, I delete it and I try it again. If I don't get someone to like my post or respond, I delete it and I try again. I post at a different time. Maybe they didn't see it. I change up my words. Maybe the words weren't right. I change up my graphic. Maybe I don't like that picture. And I keep posting it until I get enough challengers. And I also do personal invites. So don't give up. You can't say, oh gosh, I tried. Nobody wants to join me this month. Well, you probably gave up a little early because you were frustrated, right? So you just have to shift the mindset and make it a non-negotiable. I'm going to hit Success Club. It's not if I hit or I don't think. I've had people say, I don't think I'm going to hit Success Club. Well, you're not going to. Just when I do personal training, if someone says, I can't do that move, I'll show them a move. And I say, this is what you're going to do next. Oh, I can't do that move. I'll say, excuse me? What did you just say? No, we're going to do this move. You're going to try. And then if it can't happen, we'll figure out how to get you there. So don't think like that. Don't put yourself in that mentality of not being able to do something because your mind's already made up. You're not going to do it, right? All right. So here's where she talks about make recruiting fun. Okay, most of us probably, oh, recruiting's hard, you feel weird. If you feel like it's being creepy, you probably are being creepy, honestly. So change your mindset, make it fun. You know, what she does is she makes 3 lists every single month, and she works off these lists. Number 1 are her challengers. Who's in her current group? She's going to scroll through that group and write all of their names down. No, not all of them are going to be coaches, but she can start watching them and talking with them in private message and just kind of see what comes up. And the ones that are really loving the program and they're, you know, you can just kind of tell when you feel like, you know, you can ask them, gosh, would you want to learn more? And it doesn't have to be, would you want to be a coach tomorrow? Just say, would you want to learn more about what we do? You know, gosh, you're doing an awesome job. You know, you're doing what I'm doing in the group. You're just not getting paid. I find you super motivating. You know, give them compliments. Everybody likes to be complimented. If you put the bug in their ear early, that's the best time. I didn't do this, you guys, and I learned the hard way that it's really hard to go back, you know, to get someone really excited. You want to talk with them when they're going through it. And, you know, some people want to keep working on their journey, and that's fine. But through conversations, maybe some will be open to join as a coach because that definitely helps keep you accountable, right? And they may like that environment of other coaches to help them go. Okay, so your number 1 list, challengers. Your second list are all of the no's that you've had. Okay, I liked this one. We're not going to let go of those no's. We're going to circle back. No man left behind is what I like to say. So unless they've told you, no, I'm never interested, stop emailing me, circle back. And it can be as easy as, hey, I'm just checking in with you. How's your clean eating? How are the workouts? You know, just start with that. You don't have to throw it out there right away if you feel weird about it. Just start a conversation. Maybe they've been in a challenge group, so you can bring that up. Hey, how's your clean eating? You know, do you need any help? Do you need another accountability group? If it's not someone that's been in your challenge group, you know, find a different way to start a conversation and ease into it, but keep circling back. All right. So Bonnie just keeps, this is her list on the left. You can see she's a pen and paper gal. There's nothing wrong with that. If you're not a big systems person, don't stress out about finding a system. Do what works for you. Her third list are prospects. People who post about health, maybe on their Facebook, and you kind of, you know, it sparks a little bit of an interest on your end. Gosh, I should, you know, connect with this person. Maybe it's someone that a friend recommends. Maybe it's someone in your circle of friends or of other moms in a group or other moms at school or your kids' soccer events, or maybe you have another part-time job and it's someone there. Really just kind of think about who all these people could be. People who like my posts. You could go back and look to see who liked posts of yours that had something to do with either the coaching opportunity or just health and wellness. Another one is just people like you. You can brainstorm who are some of the folks that are motivated, that want to help people, that maybe have an interest in health and fitness. So constantly work through this list, you guys. And Bonnie's thing is she does everything through Messenger. She's just real personable, and she's just constantly messaging those people, okay? So make it fun. It's about connecting and just sharing what you guys love, right? This is her other thing. You know, still on the topic of recruiting is fun, she makes sure she posts 3 to 5 times a day on her pages, right? So she called this her 4th vital behavior, posting 3 to 5 times a day. She's always doing her workout. She's always drinking her Shakeology. She's always personally developing, and she's always posting. And she just recently Annied up that she's going to post every single day about the coaching opportunity, once a day. And it's very sprinkled in. It's not always a smack you in the face, this is a coaching post. She has found a way to sprinkle it in. And so that made me think, we can do that. Maybe if we're not ready for once a day right now, maybe we go every other day and we move into it, or, 3 or 4 times a week, and then we move into once a day. But I loved that she kind of pointed it out, that she can do it, and just it's a little sprinkle. And we'll talk a little bit more about what that means. So one of the sprinkles would be answering objections publicly. So she got this message from somebody that said, what if you don't always get, what if it's not always easy for you? Okay, so someone that follows her must think, oh, she's built this business, she doesn't have to work, and it just comes easy to her, right? So instead of just, keeping that private, she shared it publicly. Not saying, hey, I got this email, but just in a very cool way. Hey, this takes work, and it doesn't always come, and she might just give a little snap of her day. And really that's showing people that, this is not, you're going to get rich fast, and you have to work, right? So she's then attracting people who want to work as well. So that's just one example of an objection, but we could think of objections probably all day, right? That we could maybe, she's like, I just think why wouldn't I want to share that publicly? Because I don't want to talk to just the people that are objecting to me in private message. I want to share that with everybody, because you don't know who you're going to be missing, right? So why can't we just start sharing our objections publicly? She also talked about sharing the highlights of coaching. Right? So sharing the highlights. Here on this example right here, she talks about her team. She's like, people get confused about what's Team Beachbody, what's my team. I forget what her team's called. So she did a little post over here talking about her team. Want to know why I freaking love our team. She says, we come in all shapes and sizes, backgrounds, married, single, kids, no kids, doctors, lawyers, students, teachers, you name it. They get their goals done. So many of us find excuses or reasons to not do something, but these women impress me every single day. They make me laugh. I just spent the last couple of hours on the phone and chats, on video, I can't believe I get to do this all day, be with my friends. Like, what? They make my day better. They make me want to be a better person. Okay, so you guys get the idea. This is kind of just showing, it's about her team. That sounds fun, doesn't it? And it's going to attract people that want to work, because she talks about goals and not making excuses. So I like this example. This is your reality show, so share the highlights. What do you like about coaching? I hope you're taking some notes while I'm talking about this. What do you like about coaching? Obviously her team she loves. She's going to share a little bit about her team. So maybe just think right now while I'm scrolling down to the next one, a couple of things that you love that you could share publicly, right? And make it fun. It doesn't have to sound serious. It doesn't have to, I love that she's like, why I freaking love our team. That just sounds fun and not so serious. Another great idea of how to make recruiting fun that she uses is make your social media like a sneak peek into coaching. So why do we have to do it in a private group where we invite them to coaching, or our coach happy hour where it's just in that little group, right? Why can't we do it publicly? Why can't we talk about coaching on Facebook publicly, right? So just think about the sprinkling that you can do. She talked about, are you an iffer? Because I used to be. Sometimes I could just scream. I talk to so many women every day who are so scared to do something for themselves or out of the ordinary. So scared it might not work, or they want to wait till the perfect time. Newsflash, before you know it, You will, if, when, butt yourself to death, and then you will run out of time. So basically, she just talked about that's how she was, right? She put off signing up to be a coach for about 4 to 5 months. So she talks about that, all right? What were you scared about before signing up? What was your misconception? What did you think? Share that. Because a lot of people are probably thinking the same thing. You just haven't talked to them about it in a private message, right? You could address all of these things with all these people watching, and they're going to go, that's exactly what I thought. That's why I haven't ever said yes to this lady. So maybe they're going to reach out now because you've addressed it for them. You've gotten to them before you even had a chance to, you had to get into that private conversation. You're addressing those misconceptions in public. What were you scared of? All right, this slide talks a little bit about be clear about your expectations of them and what kind of leader you will be. And that's talking about recruiting, all right? So it's kind of nice to know that you're going to work with people. This is what she's talking about when she's still talking publicly on Facebook. Lay it out there so people know, gosh, I want to work on her team. She talks right here. If you're willing to do that, you will go far. She worked late at night. She made sacrifices. She missed some parties. She skipped out on some TV shows. Lots of failures, lots of missteps. So she'll just talk about how she did all those things because she's dedicated and she works hard. So what kind of leader will you be? Share that so that people will connect with you. She sounds like the kind of leader that I need, right? I would like to join her team. What kind of leader are you? Maybe write down some qualities that you think you have, and that can be part of your sprinkling into your public sharing of coaching. All right, next we're going to move on to onboarding new coaches. She really talked about how it's all about Success Club again. Teaching them how to hit Success Club and what that means. She's like, I used to spend a lot of time, learning about, what they like to eat for breakfast and if they had dogs and cats and, on and on and on, which is great. You obviously want to know your coaches personally. She said, but it all breaks down to really talking about Success Club with them early so they know what that is. Have a get started right call with them. Get in touch with their why. Why are they doing this? What's important to them? And then talk about Success Club in that very first conversation and give them a tangible goal. And maybe work backwards with them on the timing. So what does that look like? If you want to start one in 1 month, that means in about 2 weeks, you got to start inviting. So before that happens, we should probably have you, publicly announce you're a coach. Make sure people kind of know what it is you're doing before you throw out a first invite to a challenge group that they're going to have to invest money in, right? Because they don't know what that is. So give them a tangible goal. That was just an example. And kind of work backwards with them on how to get them to that goal. So if it's Success Club 5 and that second month that they signed up, that first month is kind of, just for training and getting them up and running. And maybe it's that second month they want to hit Success Club. Break it down for them. What does that mean? It means 3 challengers, right, into their next group. So she puts over here a little example of the Coach Basics she runs. And she actually gives them an example of what to say in their initial coming out post. So that's setting them up for success. I just weave this into my coach training starting this week. I gave them the same thing. Here's what you can say on Facebook. You know, you could tweak it obviously for your own verbiage and make sure it sounds like you, but give them some ideas. You know, I'm really good with words because I really like that personally. And that was my major in college. So I didn't need help with that, but that's not for everyone. You know, maybe someone isn't sure what to say for their first time. So give them that. Give them a place to plug into. Say, hey, if you're not comfortable running your own challenge group, why don't we do one together? Give them a place to plug into. You invite a couple of people, I'll run it. You know, whatever that looks like for you. You invite a couple of people, we'll get you to Success Club, I'll run it. Maybe you take one post a week or, you know, whatever makes them feel comfortable. Help them get there. You want to make the coach basic training action-based. So she's constantly checking in there on her coach basics training and, you know, saying, did you all get that? Did you do the assignment? And she's just making sure that they're still plugged in and that they're action-based so that people aren't just, you know, ignoring the learning, because that's big in the beginning. That initial learning when you're not really sure how to start, that's the place where you kind of need to soak it all up, right? Walk them through some conversations. I put this into my training going on this week too that I just started. I give them a bunch of posts on how to invite, what to say when people say no, what to say when there's crickets, when they don't hear anything back. I put in mine, here's what to say if you don't hear anything back. Just give them some scripts. And this goes beyond a new coach starting. She talked really about creating a Success Club culture. So make sure as you all emerge as leaders, right, you're going to all eventually have a team page. And you're going to want to do Thursday morning shout outs. Wednesday night, pull those numbers. Success Club numbers, right? Recognition is huge. And you want to include your whole downline to a certain extent. You know, so not just personally sponsored coaches, but everybody until it starts to branch off, obviously. But everybody is important. And she said she'll focus on the people that are, 1 to 3 Success Club points. And she'll try to get some excitement and energy. She said she puts together a message in Facebook with just a group of people. So kind of give them Success Club pods. So maybe the people that are at 1 to 3, she'll start a Facebook message with just those folks and her. So they get her time. And she'll say, hey, she kind of makes a joke like, hey, just making sure that one wasn't a mistake, that you're on the board. It's probably a new coach. They got their first one, so that's a big deal. She's shouting them out and saying, what do you need to get to 5? I'll help you. So include those folks. Don't just shout out the ones that are on, 27 to 20, 24, 23, but everybody matters. She creates a team cup, team-wide team cups all the time. So not just waiting for February when we do it. In October, I think we do it. We might do it another month too, but she does them all the time for fun, pairing people together. Just to get some energy and some excitement, some team camaraderie, pairing some people up with some new people. So that's an idea. She talks about offering incentives. First 5 people to hit Success Club 5 get X. You know, whatever prize you're going to give away, you have to stay compliant. So it can't be anything crazy. We mostly do Beachbody stuff. You know, gift cards are nice too. You could do a Starbucks gift card. You could do a, you know, hammer and chisel tank top. There's tons of stuff in the back office. Shakeology, sample packs so they can try all the flavors. Obviously, you're not going to say, hey, I'm going to give you $2,000 if you, I think that's not compliant. So yeah, update the leaderboard for downline, your entire downline. We talked about that. But just really making it a team event. So Thursdays, it's exciting for people to go back there. And let's go back and talk about those new coaches, right? So the importance about Success Club is if they're hitting Success Club 5, it's enough confidence to keep them going, because that means you're paying off your challenge pack that you invested to start, right? And you're helping people because you're probably running a challenge group with Success Club points, right? And you're being recognized on the leaderboard. So that's a big deal for a new coach. They're going to hey, this is pretty sweet. I get to help people. I get recognized. I'm paying off Shakeology or my challenge pack, and now I'm going to start to make some money. And that's where the magic happens. You have to keep that momentum going. And it snowballs from there, right? People like that feeling. They like that feeling of helping people. They like to see that they're starting to make, and they like to be recognized. And she does. This is her sample email of the people that she put into a group that maybe are Success Club 1 to 3 points. And she's just sending them a message. You know, let's help each other. Let's use this little message to help each other. Anyone in this group who reaches SE5 in the next 7 days will get a team bracelet. So that's her little incentive, and gives them a little rah-rah, I'm going to try to earn that bracelet. That's kind of fun. So that's a sample of her little message that she would send in those little private messages. All right, this one I like a lot. Always lead from the front. As a leader, constantly hit Success Club and beyond. Right? If you're not doing it, your team's not going to do it. They have no benchmark. They have nobody to watch. They need you to be the proof that it works. All right? Include yourself in the leaderboard. I started doing that. It felt weird at first. I'm like, gosh, I don't want to put my name in here. But I want my team to know that I'm doing it too. And if I stink in the beginning of the month, it just shows them that that's real, right?
I just started doing it too, Bridget, after this, and it feels really awkward.
It's awkward, but then it keeps you accountable too,
Yeah.
Because I'm like, gosh, if I'm only at 3 and I see other people at 7, 8, 9, like, hell, I'm going to work my tail off because I got to get going, right?
Yeah.
So don't think if you see our name in there, it's like, ooh, she's showing off again. It's really because we want to be the example, you guys. And we're pushing too. If our numbers, if I'm not on there, I'm at 0, and you can laugh at me. And I'm cool with that, because I'll just keep trying and keep working until I get there.
Agreed.
So don't expect more from your coaches than what you do. Love that. And she really talked about, if you're not adding, going back to that recruiting, if you're not adding coaches on a consistent basis, your business is going to be stagnant. And that's really true. So it's about Success Club. And out of the challenge groups, because we're hitting Success Club, we're going to get more coaches because we're doing more inviting. And, if it's not always in the challenge group, you got to work without the challenge group setting too, to keep continuing to look for those coaches. And just keep in mind those tips that she shared. Make recruiting fun. If we feel like it's icky, it's going to be icky. We're not going to do it. So maybe just try shifting your mindset and make it fun. And you'll get more comfortable in time the more you do it. And you'll find your groove. Because really, it's about sharing an opportunity that we all love. So why wouldn't we want to share that? It could really change someone's life. We're all here because somebody believed in us, right? And it's probably changed our life. Would you agree that we're all here to some extent? Maybe it's huge. Maybe we're brand new and we don't quite know that yet. And that's okay. It'll come. But we're all here because this has changed our life in some way. Why wouldn't we want to share that with somebody? It could change theirs too. So just shift that mindset. A lot of folks would probably love this, right? A lot. Ask yourself, am I being the coach I wish I had? That's huge. Constantly ask yourself that. What can you work on as a leader? What can you get better at? We all have areas that we're stronger at and maybe not so strong at. So maybe just think about a couple of things that you can work on to be a better leader. Or maybe ask someone for feedback. What can I do to be better? Am I adding value? Am I talking with confidence? Confidence is a huge piece of this business, you guys. If we're not confident, we're probably not going to find challengers, right? Because we're not confident enough to post about it or talk about it or invite people one-on-one in face-to-face interactions. We're not going to be confident to get challengers. Therefore, we're not going to get confident to ask people to join us. The confidence piece is huge. And if you don't have it to where you want it to be, where you need it to be, if you're not hitting Success Club and you're not recruiting, the confidence is going to come with practice. The more you do, the more you're going to get better and you're going to get more confident. And just looking back at me, I would say even the no's made me more confident. Not in the sense of like, oh man, but just like, gosh, I did it. And so what? That person it's not for them or they don't have time. That's okay. It's not for everybody. It made me more confident to do it again because it's almost like you got it over with. Like, whoo, I did it. I can do this again. It wasn't so bad. So just keep doing, and that confidence is going to come. I had a lot of things that didn't work. And so you evolve as a coach. Things are going to change. The way you approach is going to change. The conversations are going to change. And those are all good things. It's going to look very different from when you first started out. You're going to get more comfortable. You're going to get more confident. And the more time that you have doing, you're going to get there. And if you need some help, personal PD is going to help you. It's going to make you more confident, all right? So don't skip that part. I highly suggest that you keep up with PD, personal development, because we all could use the confidence boost, right? We're going to have weeks that kind of suck in this business or personally, and we need to be good if we're going to help other people. I know we hear this a million times, but PD is huge. So don't skip it. And if you're skipping it, it probably shows. It probably shows. I liked that she said, stop following other coaches. If you're someone that compares and gets derailed by what other people are doing, you got to know that about yourself and you got to stop. She just talked about putting the blinders on and just doing your thing, making it your own, Don't copy posts. Don't compare to somebody else's success or what works for them.
Guys, you gotta go to bed, and I can't put you up to bed. Go.
So constantly put the blinders on. However, I do want to insert this myself. If you're someone that gets ideas from other people, then following is probably okay. So just kind of know what kind of person you are. If it's going to make it worse for you, don't follow other coaches. If it's going to help you, then do it. All right, so she left it with her top 3 takeaways from this whole entire talk. Keep it simple. Keep the business simple. Success Club. Getting challengers who then become coaches, helping them to hit Success Club. Repeat. Keep it simple. Keep it consistent. Her other thing was take action, you guys. It's a lot of, oh, that's a great idea. Aha, the light went on. I should do that. That's a great idea. She's doing that. Gosh, why didn't I think about that? But what are you doing? Are you taking action? My little 2 cents here, you guys, is I've personally heard a lot lately about people being frustrated. Hey, I don't make enough money yet. Hey, I have a hard time hitting Success Club. Hey, I can't recruit any coaches. And this business is hard. You do have to work. It doesn't come to you. But are you taking all the actions that you need to? Are you just thinking about what you should be doing? I'm just asking. Are you trying every single thing? Like I talked about, I never go into a month saying I'm not going to hit Success Club. I say I'm going to hit Success Club. I don't always know how, but I follow my action steps every month. I know when my challenge group is. I know when my marketing starts for my challenge group. I write it out on my calendar. I know when my free group starts. I write that down on my calendar. The week that I'm marketing for my challenge group, I'll post at night. I'll post in the morning. On a different place, I'll post at noon. I look back. I see if I have any response. If there's nothing, I delete it. I start again. Maybe I change a couple words. Maybe I change the pictures. I keep going. And eventually, I always, every single month since I started, I've been at 10 or more for 18 months. Because I don't stop. I don't say, oh, that didn't work. Nobody wants to join me. That doesn't work for me. I'm going to delete it and I'm going to start again until somebody joins me. So action-oriented steps, you guys. I know it's hard, but it's super rewarding if you just do it and get out of the head. Start doing. So the last thing, blinders on. Don't compare. Don't change everything to do what somebody else is doing. Be you. Take pieces of advice with you, of course, but be yourself. Make it what it is for you. Be genuine to you. And that's why people want to join you, because you're you. What I've really learned too, you guys, is, people they're buying a challenge pack or they're, buying Shakeology or a program from you, yes. But that's just the tool, right? To kind of, if you put that aside, what they're really buying is they're buying you. They want to work with you. So think about that when you post. That is why you want them to see who you are on Facebook. You want to share little tidbits about some of your quirks or some of your other hobbies. You don't want to just post workout pictures and your shake pictures and that you worked out that day. You want to let people in and see who you are, right? Because they're buying you when they join you. They want to work with you because you're inspiring, you're motivating, you're funny, whatever your your characteristics are. Because they relate to you somehow, because you've shared it. And Bonnie really talks about be public, be bold to share those things. Don't just share that you do your workouts and you eat clean, but share more about you, that people can get to know you. Because that's when they're going to come to you and they're going to say, I need your help. I've never said anything. I've been watching you for a year, but I need your help. And it's not because you have Shakeology in a challenge pack, because they can get that from anyone. All right? So what makes you different? And why would they want to work with you? Do you guys have any questions? I'm going to try to get out of this split screen if I can.
So Bridget, does she just have her Bonnie Engel page, or does she have a like page as well?
And man, did I really like her. She's a spunky one. Bonnie, let me look here quick. Bonnie Engel Fitness and Nutrition.
I think her Bonnie Engel page is her like page, right, Bridget?
Bonnie Engel Fitness and Nutrition is community, and then she does have a personal page too.
Okay.
And that's just Bonnie Engel. Yeah, if you look at her posts, like it's all very real. She'll do the, no makeup, sweaty selfie. It's pretty refreshing.
She was awesome. She was really feisty.
Super, just tons of energy. She made us all stand up and say, I freaking rock. I was going to make you guys do that. Because she said, I had so much fun meeting you all here, and I just noticed that a lot of people were like, oh, I barely made this. I barely made 2-star. She's like, it wasn't like, oh my, she's like, come on, everybody, you worked really hard to get here. She's like, I remember when I was here, I just didn't realize it. But she's like, everybody stand up, and we had to yell, I freaking rock before she started her talk. So it just, yeah, she's got a ton of energy and just very empowering. Mm-hmm. So not just about her, but like, do you guys have any questions on anything that was brought up? If you can't think of anything right now, feel free to send us something tomorrow. I hope we made you think a little bit about. My biggest thing was action steps. I mean, Jess and I both went home, I kid you not, and we both started furiously working on a consistent calendar for our team, as you've noticed. Monthly, I'm hosting a coach happy hour, or I'm going to host a live Zoom call for my team, and it's going to happen once a month, and I have that all good to go. And I'm going to host my monthly training until I can find a place for it to probably live, and then people can maybe do it on their own, but that's plan down the future. So you really came out of there with a fire lit, because they gave you lots of things to think about and do. So, right, not just the aha moments, but the action steps. So we both recognized that we needed to get some things in place for our teams, and that's what we're trying to get done now. So that's pretty exciting.
Stronger systems.
Yeah,
for sure was an aha moment for me, and an aha moment that I've actually turned into some action. And let me tell you, it has been really painful for me. I am not a very organized person, but it's got to happen. It's the missing link for me to get some consistency with my systems. So that's, I thought, and I really liked everything she had to say, but just keeping it simple, I think, is really important. I had a call with Melissa McAllister last week, and one thing she said, and I'm hoping I will remember this if I'm saying it right, but she said, this business is not complicated. It's hard work, but it's not complicated. It's simple. It's just hard. Does that make sense? So really, it's the same consistent things that I'm doing now, almost 4 years later, that I was doing when I started. So it's not like it's difficult. It's not complicated. It's not rocket science, but it's just a matter of sticking with it consistently and having some grit to get through it and ride that roller coaster. So I think that Bonnie really touched on that. I thought that was important. I like how she talks about objections publicly. I think that that's huge. Objections to her business or objections to challenge groups or whatever it may be, because if somebody's wondering, chances are somebody else is wondering the same thing or has the same objection, and to get that out. I mean, she really didn't pretend to be anybody besides who she is, and I like that.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about the relationships. So if we just kind of keep that in the front of our minds, it's establishing relationships with people in person and on social media. So it's sharing who we are, and that sometimes is uncomfortable, but you're forming relationships on social media, and then you're doing a lot of messaging with people privately. It's really what it is. It's caring. It's really caring. You care about them. You want them to be feeling good and healthy and reaching their goals.
Yes. Not
So
complicated.
why would they pick you? Be the person that you want people to come to. Think about that every time you post. I know we talk about don't overthink when you post. I mean, you want to put a little bit of thought so it's not just something ridiculous, right? But think about before you post, does this say who I am? Is this going to stop someone and be like, gosh, I want to work with her? Whatever it is you're sharing. Does it truly give you when you're posting that, what you're about to post? And sometimes it's hard to put that in words. We're not sure if we got it right. So that's okay. Have someone read it for you until you get it down. Or maybe save it and come back, a couple minutes later and just kind of walk away. Is Bonnie the one, Jess, that said she does a pump-up song before she sits on her computer every morning for power hour? She cranks the tunes. She's got to get into the right mindset, and she puts a big smile on her face like this when she sits down, and she's like, I don't know what it is, but it just goes so much better if I have a little pep talk with myself before I sit down so that I can be positive with my work time and make it a little more energetic. So she'll sit down and she'll smile like this and she'll pump up music, do a little dance. I thought that was cute.
Agreed.
I did that today because my kids were home and they were being loud. So I put music in my, headphones while I was doing my work. And I picked my marathon running playlist. I was like, yeah, I'm cranking this out. I'm doing this. So do whatever it takes to get you in the mode. Just got to be doing, right?
Doing, not just thinking about doing, right?
But, try to make your systems easy for you so that when you sit down, they're ready to go. Have that list of to-dos. What do I need to do? So you're not, I spent the first so many months, you guys, just sitting there going, gosh, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I spent hours. So now I would tell my old self not to do that. I wasted a lot of time. I make my list at night now, and it's exactly what I need to do when I sit down. And I'll star the things that need to be absolutely done that day, and I'll just put a little slash next to the ones that are like, it's okay if I don't have time and it can wait. And then I'll move those to the next day because they didn't get done. And I have a section for business and personal. So if it's like, I need to make boys' dentist appointments, that's on the personal side. So when you sit down, you're focused and you can just go right down the list. No more questions, you guys? Good to go?
Bridget, this was awesome. And I listened to this in person, and listening to it again was super helpful.
Good.
You added your own flair, and
Flair.
I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
This team rocks. You freaking rock, guys.
Yeah, that was a great call. Lots and lots of info. Thank you so much. My wheels are spinning. Now I'm not going to be able to fall asleep.
Do you all want to unmute yourself and say, I freaking rock?
I do.
I think you should.
I freaking rock.
I freaking rock, Bridget.
Because I'm pretty sure all of you are here because someone thought you freaking rock. So you pretty much do. That's all I got to say.
You do.
So if you could go into every day saying that, you guys, imagine the possibilities.
Agreed. With your blinders on. Because your journey and your why and your story and the amount of time you have to commit to this business and your family and all of it is different from the coach next to you on either side. And so really just try not to compare. We're on our own journey. And you freaking rock. We do. Thanks, Sherry. Well, guys, I won't keep you unless anybody has any other questions. Now, my challenge for you guys, after all this amazing information that Bridget shared with us, is take these aha moments that are rolling around in your mind and turn it into an action moment, okay? Even if it's painful.
Maybe post a couple of yours underneath the invite to this and just let us know what they are because I'm excited to hear. Then we can help you get to it.
Yep. Definitely, because thinking about it only does you so much good. Doing it is going to make the difference. So thank you, Bridget, so much. I know you've got a really busy week and a ton on your plate and a sick kiddo, and we appreciate this so much.
Fun to see you all.
And thanks to all of you beautiful ladies who were on the call tonight. I appreciate it. And I will post the recording, and just let us know if you have any questions. And I'd love to hear like what your biggest takeaways were and what your action moment is. Okay? All right. Have a good night.
Thank you,
Bye, guys. Thank you.